Welcome to this strategy regarding special educational needs and disabilities. The purpose of this strategy is to empower all teachers and educators to feel confident with offering quality first teaching, a requirement of the SEND Code of Practice. And today I'm going to be presenting you with the Acronym Buster. My name is Debs Hollingsworth. You can follow me on Twitter at Debs_cares, and please feel free to get in touch by leaving a comment in the YouTube video or reaching out to me on one of the many platforms that I use. We're going to start today. We're starting this with a little challenge for you, the SEND Acronym Buster Challenge. Test yourself. How many of these do you know? And be honest. I'm going to bring them up on the screen without much pause in between. I will read them out though. ADHD, HNF, MLD, OT, MASH, MASH, VI, PMLD, SALT, or am I actually talking about SLT, EP, EHCP. 10 seconds of thinking time. There are 10 on the screen. Be honest, how many did you score? If you got all of them, congratulations, well done. I'd love you to carry on with the presentation, but you may well know it all already. I'm guessing that most people will have some in there they're not really that confident with. That's fine. The reason I'm making this little presentation is because it's really important to recognise that education as a sphere is absolutely littered with acronyms, and many of them are school or site specific. There is no place more cluttered with acronyms than the sphere of SEND, which is in itself an acronym. I'm not proposing to go through all of the answers of these, but there are a couple of little interesting points that I would like to just note before we move on. At first glance, you might consider that PMLD and MLD are actually related, but they couldn't be more different. PMLD means profound and multiple learning difficulties. A child who has PMLD as their primary diagnosis is likely to be physically disabled, have learning disabilities, although they might actually be quite cognitively able. They're likely to be amongst the most vulnerable in this society and require support from numerous professionals throughout their lives. MLD is moderate learning difficulty. It is diagnosed, it's not just a teacher looking at the child and saying, oh, that child's got MLD. No, it's a moderate learning difficulty, and it's diagnosed generally either by a paediatrician or an educational psychologist. And the two of those do really go together to highlight how tricky navigating the world of acronyms in SEND can be. In a similar vein, it's really confusing in many settings that SLT stands for Senior Leadership Team of a school, but SLT, or SALT with that little A in there, but that little A is often omitted, means a speech and language therapy or speech and language therapist. So those two acronyms can be really muddy between SALT or SLT. It's really important to be able to unpick from the context of documents or discussions which SALT or SLT you're talking about. An EP or an EdPsych is an educational psychologist. Their work is often vital in ensuring that students who need an education healthcare plan, EHCP, actually get an educational healthcare plan, EHCP. And there are a few others on there that that I just put on there that I'm not going to go through right now, which helps me to move on to my next slide, which is where you will see the Acronym Buster. There are loads of these available online, so I don't think I'm genuinely offering you anything that isn't already available, and I'm not pretending that I am offering you the best. However, I have spent a little bit of my career putting together the one that works for me, owing to the fact that I find some acronym busters, which are given many names, some of them are really too detailed and some of them are too specific to context, and so I've created this and I'm just here to share it really. I'm not quite sure if you're viewing this through YouTube how I'm going to share it, but feel free to reach out to me via Twitter and I'll make it available to you with any personal contact. I'm sure I'll work it out too, how to make a file available. I'm leaving it on the screen in case you just want to do a snip, which is fine by me. And if you are accessing this through any of the Facebook groups that I use, then I will pop it in the files for you. So hopefully some people might find it useful. What I'm not proposing to do is to go through what each of these things means, or what you know, to go through a definition of this, because it's vast. And also what I would say is that it takes time to learn all of these acronyms, and if you do know all of these, if you can actually test yourself and know all of these, then genuinely you've got huge knowledge. But what I do try to do is give to teaching assistants who are new in role, or even to beginner teachers, or even, to be honest, to share with some more established and experienced teachers, senior leaders, governors, etc., a single page printout of this, in order that everyone can start to navigate the many documents that we have, the reports that we read, the many areas in which we see acronyms used and we're not always necessarily confident. And certainly if we're not confident and we're switched on and interested, then there's going to be loads of other people in the team who really don't know. If you want to find out more about any of the actual conditions that are listed, or what a clinical commissioning group, for example, is, then I do recommend a quick Google, of course. But I do hope that as a single page reference, this might be useful to someone. To be honest, if it's useful to one person, that will make me happy. Do let me know. Thanks very much. I hope this is helpful to someone. My name is Debs Hollingsworth, and if you would like to check me out on Twitter, try @Debs_cares. Thanks very much. Bye.